Hey, I am back to talk about more media. And you know what? I got so many questions about different things that you can do to generate publicity without actually hiring a PR agency or a publicist. So I just wanted to give you a few ways. Definitely comment. I always want your comments. Share it, like it. I always appreciate that. I'm also putting a link to my media list template. I know a few of you asked for it. I posted it in another post, but I'm putting it here just to make sure everybody who wants it has an opportunity to grab it. But let's talk about free publicity. So as a business owner, you definitely want to publicize your business without breaking the bank, right? And for those of you who have never tried to hire a PR agency, sometimes it can cost $5, $8, $10,000 a month, depending on who you try to get. So not many small business owners, entrepreneurs really have that big of an advertising budget, or they have actually somebody in-house as a public relations manager or communications expert, and that's okay, because like I said, I'm going to give you a few ways that you can kind of do this yourself. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you focus your coverage. So you want to choose carefully exactly what you want to publicize, but you also want to make sure that you're choosing the right media outlet. So all media is not necessarily good media. You want to make sure that you're picking outlets that also share similar stories to whatever it is that you want media on. If you're a musician, you want to kind of look at music stations maybe as the first stop, because you know that people that listen to music stations like music, right? And so you also want to make sure that the media outlet has your ideal client in their audience. So you want to make sure that if you're selling something, a product, a service, or a book, that you have people that are going to actually buy it at the end of the day. The other thing is to make sure that you're active on social media. So this is the best way to kind of raise your public profile so that you get noticed, not just by your ideal customer or your community, your tribe that's looking for you, but also the media. So a lot of times if we're looking for an expert, we Google, we see who pops up. And the people that pop up are the people that are talking about what they do, what their expertise is, what their passion is, what their love is online. So you want to make sure that you're there doing the same thing. The other thing is that, media really now is kind of looking for a partnership. So they want to make sure that when they're opening up their platform to you, that you also have some sort of a platform that may add to their listening, viewing, reading audience. And so I'm not saying you have to have 8 million people for it to be viable, but you certainly want to look like you've developed something and that you're keeping them engaged. So very, very important. Viral marketing is also really cool. So, it's viral. So this is like kind of a hit or miss. You never know what's kind of going to, go crazy. But you definitely want to try it. So if it's a YouTube video, if it's a photo that gets tweeted or retweeted, I've put stuff out there and I go away and I come back and it's got like 300 retweets. And I'm like, what did I do? So you kind of want to take note of that and then do it again. But there are people who have done YouTube videos that have gone viral and then gotten a lot of media attention out of it. So you want to make sure that you're also very kind of focused on that and maybe thinking out of the box when it comes to some of those marketing tools as well. You want to still write a great press release, right? So press releases serve two purposes. One, you can use it for your own website. You can say, send it out on your own social media. You can use it on your LinkedIn profile. You can just use it for your stuff. But it's also good for sending out over wire services. For those of you who don't know what a wire service is, that is a service that you just upload your press release and they send it out to a gazillion media outlets. And it's perfect for those media outlets that still need great content, but may not necessarily have a lot of people there to manage the content. So, when I was a reporter at KMOX, I was constantly looking at the wire services to see if a story would come across that we could just rip off. They call it a rip and read. You just rip it off and kind of rewrite it and you read it. And so there could be press out there about you because you uploaded a press release to a wire service that you don't even know about. So that's pretty cool too. You also want to use what you have in your arsenal. So community service, anything philanthropic is a great way to get media. I don't say go help the babies just so you can get a news story, but if you're already doing it, media loves it. We're always looking for those feel-good stories to kind of buffer all of the hard news that we have to report on. So if you're doing something good already, definitely let the media know about it. Also, the media has to do a certain amount of community announcements. So, it's a PSA or it's just, some kind of feel-good story that serves a certain purpose that they have to fulfill. So definitely take advantage of that as well. And then keep it in perspective. I mean, media is kind of like a fine dance. Sometimes you get a yes, sometimes you get a no, sometimes say you look interesting, but we can't really use you right now. And so stay in touch. I always advocate that people look at this as a relationship and not just as a one-off article or interview or news story, that you really look to be a resource to journalists so that they will call you again and again and again. And so then that goes back to focusing your coverage, making sure that you're creating those relationships with the media outlets and the journalists that have a passion for what you do and what you want exposure on. So those are just a few tips. I get a little carried away, but I don't want it to be too long, but I certainly want to give you a lot of value. So those are some ways that you can generate free publicity. Like I said, I also put my media list template in there. Definitely grab it if you're interested in upping your media game in 2018. For me, 2018 is all about impact and income. I want everybody to do both. I want us to make a difference in the world, but I also want us to make a difference in our revenue that we're generating. So income and impact in 2018. Don't forget, drop your comments below. Definitely share with your community, like it, yell at me. I don't care. I just want to know that you're there and that we are engaging on a one-on-one level. So I really appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you soon.